Hi, everyone. Welcome to FlossTube number 49. This is the first FlossTube for Morning Glory Needleworks for 2024. I can't even believe that. My name is Dawn Fisher, if you haven't watched my videos before. And so I always say better late than never. I usually have this posted like at midnight on the first of the month. Well, hey, holidays, out of town, stuff going on. So better late than never. That's what I always say, but I'm getting it done. So we will get this out as soon as possible. And as always, I want to thank everybody who subscribes, comments, liked my channel. I really appreciate it. As always, this is my little intro blurb. Anything I talk about, I don't think there's any links this time, but they're posted in the comments section. If you hit where it says more, it'll expand the comments description section, and you'll see all the information. There's links to my to the Morning Glory Needleworks Etsy shop, to Instagram, Stitch of the Month, the Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page, and other items. So I'm really excited about this. So I'm just going to get started here. Oh, also, I always forget this. I break my videos into chapters. So if you want to come back and watch just a portion of the video, especially for this video, we're going to do Stitch of the Month, which I'm really excited about. Whole new year of stitches. So I break my videos into chapters, and then in that comment section again, there'll be chapters listed with a little time stamp next to it. So you just click on the time, it will take you directly to that section of the video. So all that's out of the way now, but I just want to give a little life update. I hope all of you had a wonderful holiday season. I know it's hard for some people. This year was a little challenging for me because of everything that's gone on this year, but I did have a really, really good time. I was very lucky to see most of my family for Christmas and New Year's Eve. I talked about it last time. My brother and his wife are staying at a local campground here at Fort DeSoto, and they came and actually stayed with me for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So that was really nice. That way I didn't have to be alone. This was, my first year without Jeffrey, so I didn't really want to be alone. The cats are pretty good company, but so it was wonderful for them to come stay here. On Christmas Eve, we did our family tradition. We watched White Christmas. And then after that, we watched another fun Christmas movie, which was Genie, which was kind of cute. And then I got them hooked on the British baking show, which I have been like just watching continually for the past few weeks. So anyway, now I have them hooked on it. But so that was our Christmas Eve, and Christmas morning was really nice and relaxing. At least it was for me, because my brother and his wife, mostly Michelle, cooked breakfast for us. It was really nice. She made a really delicious quiche, and we had that and bacon. I had some bacon, so Jim fried that up. So that was yummy. And then we all cooked Christmas dinner together. I had bought a huge ham, and I made roasted Brussels sprouts. Michelle made keto or low carb mashed potatoes. They weren't really potatoes, but it was yummy. And she made a low carb stuffing also. So, and best of all, she made a low carb pumpkin pie, which was also delicious. So, and I bought the whipped cream because, but anyway, so that was my Christmas. We just kind of sat around Christmas Day and talked and watched more of the British baking show competition on Netflix. And it was just a nice, relaxing day. And then they went home that evening after dinner, or back to their campsite. And my sister and Leah and her husband, RT, and my mom drove down from Michigan to Leah's timeshare in Orlando. So on the 30th, I picked up my other sister, Diana, at the airport in Orlando. And we decided she would come home with me for a day or so. She hadn't seen my house. So she came and spent the night, and we went out to dinner and had a nice evening. It was pretty relaxing because she'd been up all night because her flight was like at 5:30 in the morning or some ungodly hour, flying in from Austin. So we just kind of dozed and relaxed, and the kitties actually all came out to see her. So and again, we just, like I said, we relaxed and watched TV. And then the next day, Christmas Eve, I drove her to Orlando to be with the rest of the family. So let's see, and my brother and his wife, they're in a different campsite now on the other side of the state, so they drove over to be with us. And then my sister Leah's daughter, Caitlin, and her 2-year-old flew down to be with us. So it was really nice. So all of us could be together. And we were trying to figure out the last time us 4 kids and mom had all been together. And we think it was probably 3 years ago. So, and my mom, she turns 93 this year. So it was good for all of us to be together because it's hard being so far apart. So anyway, it was a pretty full house there at the timeshare. There's a lot of room, but we had a good time. The niece, 2-year-old, she was having fun running around. And so we had a few little gift exchange, nothing huge, just something small. And I keep saying I have to stop. We all got together. Anyway, it was very relaxing. I brought a couple of pies, and we had my sister made lasagna and salad, and just, it was a nice time, all sitting around talking, looking at pictures. My brother had brought a bunch of family pictures, mostly of my sister. We'd each gotten a package of pictures of all of us. So I'll probably show you some pictures here in a little bit, but it was fun. My brother and I left about the same time, around 7-ish, because I wanted to be home. I didn't want to be driving real late at night. So, and there were so many people there. There was just too many people to stay. And I do have a sick kitty, so I wanted to be home. My poor little Glenda, I don't know how much longer she's going to be with us, but I'm just keeping her content and fed and loved, and that's all I can do right now. But anyway, it was wonderful to spend all this time with my family, and I'm so glad we got to do that. And it was nice. I came home and away from all the hubbub, and I just sat and relaxed with my kitties, and we just watched a British baking show, and then listened to the fireworks when it struck 12. So Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you had a wonderful time on your New Year's Eve too, your New Year's Eve celebration. And now I'm going to talk about a few other things. I believe I mentioned before that my brother is now traveling in his RV, and they also do they have a YouTube channel where they talk about their life on the road. And because they've kind of dissolved their household, they sold their house, they sold everything, and now they just live in their camper. So they had a lot of pictures and things that were my mother's, who is now living with my other sister, Leah. So he brought me a whole big packet of pictures. So I wanted to share a few of them. So if you want to skip this, you can move on to the next thing. But these are just some fun pictures that some people might enjoy. That's my grandmother and grandfather, my mother's parents, Jeanette and Cornell Dexter. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you want to see a really cute kid? Huh? I haven't changed it a bit, have I? This is me. I think this was in kindergarten. I think that was maybe kindergarten, first grade picture, but see, I look just the same, don't I? No change at all. And I'm not going to show that one. I think, again, other than the poofy curly hair, I think this was 5th grade. And best of all, senior picture, huh? Haven't changed a bit. So, and this was actually hand colored. I had braces, so they actually painted out my braces. So they didn't have all the photo editing software we have now. This, I love this picture. This is my father when he was little. Look just alike, don't we? So that was my father when he was, I don't know how old he was at that point, but very young, obviously. This is another picture of my grandma and grandpa. I think this was at my sister Leah's wedding. No, this was their 50th anniversary. So I love that picture. And this is a picture of all of us kids. My brother Jim, who's now like 6 foot something, me, and my sister Leah and my sister Diana. So that's all the pictures. But I just kind of want to share them. I kind of like to get I want you to know my background. Like I'm a real person. I have like wonderful old photos also of me. So I just wanted to share those with everybody. Now, I just want to give a little another blurb because it is New Year's, and I hope you've all made a New Year's resolution to stitch every day. And of course, I have this pattern available. It is called A Stitch a Day, A Year in Stitches. It's available in my Etsy shop, and it will keep you going throughout the year. Each one of these squares is actually 2 days of stitching, so it won't take you too long to stitch. This is each day. So this is on 28 count linen, and I use sulky threads. You can use whatever you want, but the best thing is I actually put this on sale. I don't do a lot of sales, but this is on sale for 20% off through January 4th, 2024. So hurry and get this. You can buy a PDF version of it, or you can have it mailed to you. And if you're a little behind, it won't take you long to catch up. Some of the stitches are a little more complicated than others, but it shouldn't take more than, some of them will only take a few minutes to stitch, but it's a real fun stitch. So that's a little blurb about advertising, I guess. And the link to my Etsy shop is, of course, is in the comments section. Now, last time I talked about, I have some like celluloid and maybe ivory plastic sewing tools. Well, I was going through some other things and I found some more. I actually found this one. So I decided to go into my collection and pull a few more Pinkeeps. This is a Pinkeep. You can see it's felt. It's actually a really thick layer of felt and then pins. Let's see if I have a pin here. I have one right here. This is out of another one. And pins just stick in the side of it. And this one's fun. I'm not sure what it's made of. It's very heavy. It's heavy. So it could be ivory. I don't think it's celluloid. I don't know. It's very thick, dense, and it's actually, see, the holes are drilled in this, and then they've actually sewn the piece together. Can you see the stitches around the edge? I just think this is beautiful. And then it's got this pink felt felted wool, and it does look like just a thick pad of thick wool in that. But like I said, I pulled this out, and that made me think of, hey, I have some other Pinkeeps like this. This is, I think, one of the prettiest. So I have another one here. These were advertising ones that were given out. These were both given out from Prudential Insurance. And this is a really pretty one. And again, it's a piece of, this one has a lot of pins in the side. It's a piece of thick wool felt. And on the back is the advertisement. It says, I don't know how I should have got along without it. That's what they tell the Prudential man when he files a claim. So this is from Prudential Insurance Company, Home Office, Newark, New Jersey. So anyway, that's a really pretty one. I don't know the year on these. I didn't do a lot of research. This at the bottom, if you can see it, it says a Prudential girl. So that's what you look like if you have Prudential insurance. And this one, again, this is really pretty. And it's the same thing. It has pins, felted wool and pins. And it says the same thing on the back. It does not have any writing on the front about it, but it's the same on the back. This one's obviously a little more worn and stained. But I pick these up when I can find them. They're usually not too expensive. So that's why I like them. Then I have this one. And it looks like it's one somebody made from hand by hand. This was probably, trying to get it in the light here. This was probably some scraps of silk fabric, but you can see the silk has worn away. And again, it's there's a piece of wool in there. I don't want to pull it apart. I'm not sure. It says Dickie on it, so it may just been a scrap piece of paper. I don't know, what else it was. Excuse me. I don't want to peel the fabric. I could take it apart, but I don't want to. But anyway, I probably picked this up in with a bunch of other items, a sewing basket or something. Then I have this one, which is beautiful. It's hand painted, and it says Colorado Columbine on it. And again, I'm sorry, this one, sorry, I had a tickle in my throat. I still do a little bit. This one looks like it has cork or something in the center of it. Again, I'm not sure what this is. It may be cork. It almost feels like a wood or a brush or something. It's not wool, and it's kind of scratchy, but you can see it's got some pins in it. And then on the back, it's actually been maybe burned or detailed a little bit around the edges. But on the back, you can't see it really in pencil. I can barely see it. I had to get out a magnifier and a really bright light to be able to see it. But it says, I think it's August 13th, 1902. So this is from 1902, South Cheyenne Canyon, Colorado Springs, Colorado. So that's where this is from, but it's just nice, and it's big. This is unusually big for a Pinkeep, and little pieces of it are falling out on my desk here. Now this one, I may have shown this one before. This is I can't remember what it's called. It's a wood. And a lot of the ones I have other different types of sewing tools made from this wood. And this one is actually of the Washington Monument. You can see it. It's hard to see. And then on the back, it's plain, but you see also this one actually, I'm not sure what's in the center, but it has a velvet ribbon wrapped around it. And then it's like attached here in the center. You can barely see it. This one doesn't have any pins in it. it didn't have any pins in it when I got it, but I have more of this type of wooden items. And I did I did a talk on them. I talked about them in a previous FlossTube. So you might be able to find more information about that. So that was just a real quick little going over, some more sewing tools. I'm trying to bring more of that back in, but this video is going to be short and sweet. So I'm just trying to get everything done. It's been kind of a hectic day after driving to Orlando back and forth twice a day, which the airport is about 2 hours from me. And of course, traffic was horrible on the way back. And then driving back again an hour and a half. So I've been on the road a lot the last few days. So I'm still kind of out of it. But it is the 1st. So it's time for a new Stitch of the Month. I'm very excited. I was trying to decide because when I start the new year, remember, I'm doing all of my Stitch of the Month on a really long scrap piece of linen. So if you have any of these, sometimes you can pick up these big long scraps of linen at a shop, your local needlework shop. They may have scraps. I think I was cutting out for teaching some classes and just had a big long strip of linen. So what I've done is this is 2022 Stitch of the Month sampler, and this is 2023 from here to here. And now it's time for 2024. So we have a new stitch. It's hard to see. I can put it under the magnifier because I used a really pale, my favorite color. It's called Spring Garden. But what this stitch is, it's a tied Smyrna. And actually, this is a group. It looks small, but it's actually 4 tied Smyrnas. So this is one stitch here. And what I did to make it the same as the others, the same size as the other ones I've done. See, this one too has 2 blocks because it works good around the year. So I found this tied Smyrna, and I just thought it was a really fun stitch. It's fairly easy, just straight, diagonal, horizontal, vertical, and then smaller diagonals. And it's over 4 threads, so it's not super tiny. So I thought this would be a good one to start with. And you can barely see it, but here is this is the pattern. So this is the January, and then this will be filled up with the rest of the year. These are available as PDFs in the Stitch of the Month Facebook group. There's a link to that at the end of the comments description section of this. So if you want to get these and all the other ones that have been done since 2022, there's 12 each month. There's the sampler, which, like I said, will be updated every month, and then each stitch. This is a really nice big diagram. So this is the first stitch here, and then there's actually 4 of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up my PowerPoint and show you that, excuse me, and discuss how the stitch is done. And then I'm going to go to the camera and demonstrate the stitch for you. I think you'll like this stitch. It's fun, it's easy, and what's better than that? Okay, so what I've done here, as I do this every time, I have in the PowerPoint, I show the big chart or the big diagram showing the stitches with all the numbers, and then down on the other side it shows how it fits into the sampler. So this is, like I said, it's a basic stitch. It starts out with a basic cross stitch over 4 threads. So you're going to come up at 1, you're going to count 4 threads to the right, 4 threads up, and go down at 2. Then you're going to go down 4 threads from 2, come up at 3, and complete your cross going down at 4. Next, you're going to do this as a Smyrna, the same as a large Smyrna over 4 threads. You're going to do 5, 6, which is a horizontal stitch. You'll come up in the middle between 2 threads below 4 and 2 threads above 1. So it's right in the middle, go straight across 4 threads, go down at 6, and then you're going to do a vertical stitch. So you're going to come up at 7, which is in between 1 and 3, and go down at 8, which is between 4 and 2. So there's a basic Smyrna cross over 4. Now we're going to add the tie downs, or it's like a rice stitch. It's similar to a rice stitch. So you're going to come up at 9, which shares a hole with 5, and go down at 10, which shares a hole with step 8. Then you're going to come up at 11, which shares the hole with 5 and 9. Go down at 12, which shares a hole with 7. You're going to come up at 13, which shares a hole with 6. Go down at 14, which shares a hole with 7 and 12. Finally, you're going to come up at 15, which shares a hole with 6 and 13. And you're going to go down at 16, which shares a hole with 8 and 10. Now that sounds complicated, but it's really not. And then you're going to move to your next stitch. Now you can move down and do the next stitch. I moved across and then went down and back over. So you can see where step 17 is. The side-by-side stitches, they all share holes. So 17 shares a hole with 3. And so 17 would be your step 1 in your first stitch. So just complete your next stitch. You can move down, complete the stitch below that, move to the left, and complete your final stitch. So now I'm going to go back and I will bring up the camera I have and demonstrate the stitch for you. Okay, so what I've done, this is, I just wanted you to see the stitch. It's very pretty. I'm having a hard time getting it to focus in. I don't know why. Maybe there's too much light. Turn this off. Nothing wants to work today. Well, that didn't help. But anyway, I was trying to make y'all seasick here by moving this around. Anyway, this is the stitch. Turn that light back on. See if that helps a little bit. Anyway, because it's hard to see it because it is really small. But what I'm going to do is bring this back out again. And then I will demonstrate the stitch for you. I use the Spring Garden, which is a variegated thread, and it's just so pretty. I love the way the colors go from pale pink to pale yellow to pale green. It's very springy, Eastery colors. So now I'm going to demonstrate the stitch for you. I have my diagram here. So I've come up at what would be 1. And be sure you refer to the chart for the exact placement of all the stitches and the number of stitches. Now this one, it does have the actual number of stitches on the diagram that you're going to be stitching. So I've come up at what would be step 1. Technical difficulties here. Now I'm going to count 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, not holes, threads. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 threads up. And that is step 2. Then I'm going to come up at 3, which is 4 threads down, 4 threads over. That is step 3, and go down at 4. It's just a basic cross stitch over 4 threads. Now I'm going to come up at 5, which is in between 1 and 4. Go down at 6, which is in between 2 and 3. Come up at 7. And go down at 8. And again, that's your basic Smyrna cross over 4 threads. Now I'm going to come up at 9, which shares holes with step 5. And go down at 10. Then I'm going to come up at 11. Which shares holes with 5 and 9, and go down at 12, which shares a hole with 7. I'm going to come up at 13, which shares a hole with step 6. Go down at 14, which shares with 7 and 12. Come up at 15, which shares with 6 and 13. And go down at 16. And there is one Smyrna cross. Sorry, my thing is jiggling here. I'm going to zoom in even more on that so you can see it better. So there's your first stitch. Now I'm going to work on the stitch to the right of that one. So I'm going to come up in the same hole with step 3, and I'm going to count 2 threads over from there. Just do the basic cross stitch over 4 threads again. I'm going to do the horizontal stitch across the center. And I'm going to do the vertical stitch across the center. Then I'm going to work the tie downs, the corner stitches. So there's what would be step 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's your top row of stitches. Now I'm just going to come straight down and work the one below the one on the right. I'm not going to count it out for you because I think you can figure that out. The numbering for the first stitch is on the diagram, and they're all basically the same. Then you're just going to work your corners. I just wanted to make sure you could see how they all fit together. Oops. I hope yours will be neater than mine, but they're very small, so it won't show. But like I said, it's a fun stitch. It doesn't take long to do. I just sat down and did everything in a few minutes, and plus my numbers for 2024. So it looks like one big stitch, but it's actually 4 small stitches all worked together. And I hope you enjoy it. So just work on it. And when you join Stitch of the Month Facebook group, I hope you will post pictures of what your work of your sampler, or however you're working these stitches. You can work them in any project any place you think it would fit. So there you have it. There's your four stitches. Turn that light off and see if no, that made it darker. Oh, well, I believe you should be able to see that. So I'm going to stop this and come back to me. Here I am. So that's kind of it. Like I said, I'm trying to go short and sweet. Some of my first videos were very long, and I'm trying to shorten them so you won't lose attention here. But anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching FlossTube 49. I can't believe it's been that many. I've been doing this for 2 years now. And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, thinking of what stitches to use and what to talk about. And if there's something you want to hear about, let me know. Any kind of antique sewing tools you want to learn about. If I have any information, I will be happy to share it with you. If I have any samples of that, I will be happy to share it with you. Unfortunately, a lot of my books are packed up again. I'm still trying to get into packing up and getting my house ready for sale mode, but things keep happening. You know how that goes. So that's it. Again, please share or be sure to subscribe to my channel and any other pages, Facebook pages. And again, all links are posted at the bottom of this. And That's it. I will see you on the 15th of February. Thank you so much.